Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. Today, we're going to buckle up and take a wild ride through the crypto market.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, it's December 10th, and things are absolutely buzzing,
Lots going on.
especially with all the crossover happening between blockchain and AI.
Yeah, that's a hot topic right now.
So we're going to be digging into some really interesting insights today
Okay.
from the Blockchain DXB podcast AI series.
Oh, cool. I know that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's see what we can learn.
Awesome.
Okay, so first up, let's talk about just the sheer volume of activity in the market that we're seeing.
All right.
So the global crypto market cap hit, wait for it,
Oh, boy.
$3.45 trillion that day,
Wow.
which is a nearly 7% increase
In just 24 hours.
in just 24 hours.
That's crypto for you.
Yeah, exactly. But here's where it gets even more interesting.
Okay, lay it on me.
The 24-hour trading volume on that same day actually exploded, shooting up by 114% to hit $319 billion.
Whoa.
So that's got to be some kind of record, right?
It likely is an all-time high.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what's even more striking? A massive 94% of that volume came from stablecoins.
Oh, wow. So it's not just that people are trading more.
Right.
They're specifically using stablecoins to do it.
Exactly. What does that tell us?
Well,
Maybe investors are using stablecoins as kind of a temporary safe haven, yeah. Amidst all the volatility, just waiting for the right moment to jump back into those riskier assets.
So it's almost like they're,
It's like seeing a huge line outside a store before like a big sale,
everybody's just like waiting and ready.
Everyone's ready, poised to make a move.
I like that analogy. A lot of pent-up energy in the market.
For sure.
But that makes me wonder about DeFi.
Okay.
If everyone's kind of flocking to stablecoins, what's happening over in decentralized finance, it's supposed to be the future.
Well, that's the thing. While the broader market was going crazy, DeFi volume was telling a different story that day. It sat at a comparatively tiny $24.54 billion.
Oh, wow.
Which is only about 7.7% of the total crypto market volume. Ideally, that number should be much higher. If DeFi is really going to become this mainstream force.
So maybe there's a little bit of a disconnect between the DeFi hype and the reality on the ground.
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah, but hold on.
What?
Even within DeFi, things seem to be shifting,
Oh, yeah.
especially when it comes to decentralized exchanges.
DEXs.
DEXs, yeah, as they're called.
Right.
What's happening over there?
Well, they're steadily gaining ground, capturing about 35% of the trading volume on December 10th.
Wow.
Platforms like Uniswap, Raydium, Pancakeswap, Orca, Aerodrome were some of the top performers.
So it begs the question, are traditional exchanges starting to lose their grip?
Could be.
Are users seeking these more decentralized options?
It's a trend worth watching for sure.
Absolutely. All right, now let's switch gears for a second
Okay.
and check in on the heavyweights. Bitcoin and Ethereum.
The big guys.
Yeah, Bitcoin was still the king, commanding a dominance of 55.8%,
Of course.
with Ethereum trailing behind at 12.93%. But what really caught my eye was the overall market sentiment being labeled as extreme greed with a score of 82.
Oh, wow.
So can you explain what that means for those of us who don't speak market sentiment?
Sure. Essentially, it just means that investor psychology was really leaning towards FOMO.
Fear of missing out.
Yeah, exactly. A score of 82 suggests a market that's driven by high expectations for quick profits, which can sometimes lead to some, not so smart decisions.
Impulsive decisions.
Yeah, think of it as kind of like a gold rush mentality
Wow.
where everyone is scrambling to get in on the action before it's too late.
So a potential recipe for some risky moves.
Maybe.
Okay, so maybe that gold rush mentality explains all the buzz around DePIN, which stands for Decentralized Physical Infrastructure Networks, for anyone who's not familiar.
Yeah.
It's essentially about using blockchain technology for managing real-world stuff,
Real world assets, exactly.
like energy grids or supply chains.
That type of thing.
Okay, so the current leader in this space is the Internet Computer Protocol, or ICP. ICP, yep.
It boasts a market cap of $5.7 billion.
Which is pretty impressive on the surface.
Yeah.
But it's important to remember that ICP has had a bit of a roller coaster ride.
Oh, really?
Yeah, after its initial launch, its token value plummeted by over 90%.
Oh, wow.
And this was despite it briefly holding a position among the top 10 cryptocurrencies.
So I guess what you're saying is that in the fast-paced world of crypto, a project's past performance can be a pretty valuable indicator.
It can definitely give you some insights.
Yeah.
Yeah, not all that glitters is gold.
True.
And ICP's journey is a good reminder to look beyond the hype and, really consider a project's history.
Before making any decisions.
before you jump in.
Solid advice, especially when things can change so quickly.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of change, let's zoom in on El Salvador,
Okay.
a country that made headlines by adopting Bitcoin as legal tender.
Right. They were really pioneers in that sense.
So they're currently in talks with the International Monetary Fund, or IMF,
IMF.
seeking a $2 billion loan.
However, there's a potential sticking point.
Oh, wow. Let me guess it involves Bitcoin.
You got it. To secure that loan, El Salvador may be required to make Bitcoin optional for businesses
Interesting.
rather than mandatory.
So it wouldn't be this, like, national currency anymore.
Exactly.
Well,
This situation highlights the balancing act, I think, that governments face
for sure.
when they're trying to integrate cryptocurrencies into their economies.
It's tricky.
It's a fascinating case study for sure
Absolutely.
in the tension between, promoting crypto adoption
Right.
and dealing with real-world economic pressures.
Yeah, you got to keep the lights on.
Speaking of real-world players, two major companies made some interesting moves in the crypto space.
Okay, who are we talking about?
Riot Platforms and Amazon.
Oh, yeah, I'm listening.
So Riot Platforms is a major Bitcoin mining company,
I've heard of them.
and they announced plans to raise $500 million to buy more Bitcoin.
Wow, so they're doubling down.
Yeah, this move demonstrates a strong belief, I think, in Bitcoin's long-term value.
Especially given their existing investments in all that mining infrastructure.
Absolutely.
A big statement.
Meanwhile, over at Amazon, some shareholders are pushing for the company to allocate 5% of its cash reserves to Bitcoin.
Interesting.
This proposal is driven by the idea that Bitcoin can act as a hedge against inflation
Which is a popular argument.
and potentially increase shareholder value.
Right, it's a strategy that we've seen before.
Like with MicroStrategy and Tesla?
Exactly.
I can only imagine the ripple effect if a giant like Amazon were to fully embrace Bitcoin.
Yeah, that would be huge.
But for now, let's talk about something a little more lighthearted. Pepecoin, the meme coin that took the internet by storm.
Oh, Pepe. We got to talk about Pepe.
We do. Pepecoin recently reached a staggering $11 billion market cap.
No way.
It surpassed even established projects like Uniswap and Litecoin.
A meme coin outperforming major crypto projects. It's crazy.
It's pretty wild.
What's driving that?
Well, a significant factor in this surge was the influx of activity from whales.
Ah, the big spenders.
The large investors, they poured over $1.14 billion into Pepecoin
Over what period of time?
over a single weekend.
Wow, that's a lot of memes.
So this just highlights the unpredictable meme-driven nature of the crypto market,
You never know what's going to take off.
where something that starts as a joke
Right.
can quickly turn into serious money.
Yeah, you got to be careful out there.
Before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, let's shift our focus to some exciting developments in the UAE.
All right, I'm always interested to hear what's happening over there.
BitOasis, a major crypto platform in the region, recently obtained a full license
Oh, wow.
from Dubai's Virtual Assets Regulatory Authority,
VAR.
VAR, shortened to VAR.
Got it.
So this is a big step, I think, towards legitimizing the crypto industry in the region.
For sure, VAR is essentially the regulatory body that's tasked with overseeing all things virtual assets in Dubai.
Oh, okay.
So by granting BitOasis a full license, it really signals the UAE's commitment to creating this regulated and secure environment.
For crypto businesses to operate. So the UAE is making a strong move, I think, to become a major player in the crypto world.
Definitely.
And it's not just crypto, they're also making big strides in AI.
Oh, yeah.
So the UAE government has partnered with UiPath,
I know UiPath, they're a leading automation company.
right? With the aim of accelerating AI development and equipping workers with all these essential AI skills.
So we're talking training programs, pilot projects, the whole 9 yards.
Exactly. This partnership reflects the UAE's very ambitious goal of becoming a global leader in AI by 2031.
Wow.
So their approach is comprehensive. They're focusing on advancing the technology itself,
Right.
but also preparing their workforce.
For an AI-driven future.
Exactly.
It sounds like they're going all in on both crypto and AI.
They are, which could have a significant impact on the region's economic future for sure.
Absolutely. But it also raises a broader question
What's that?
about the evolving relationship between crypto and AI on like a global scale.
That's a great point, and we'll definitely need to unpack that further. But for now, we're going to take a quick pause. When we come back, we'll delve deeper into some of the implications of these trends and explore what they mean for the future of crypto and beyond.
Sounds good.
Stay tuned.
Welcome back. Before the pause, we were talking about the UAE's ambitious plans in both the crypto and AI spaces.
Yeah, it's fascinating to see a government embrace both of those with such enthusiasm.
Yeah, it's pretty forward-thinking.
But before we get too deep into their plans, I want to circle back to something you mentioned earlier,
Okay.
the surge of Pepecoin.
Ah, yes, Pepe.
It's reached an $11 billion market cap,
Yeah.
surpassing established projects like Uniswap and Litecoin.
It's wild, right?
It's wild, but it also makes me a little uneasy.
Yeah, I get that. It really highlights how potent community and virality can be in the crypto space. I mean, Pepecoin's success, at least in part, can be attributed to its strong online community and its savvy use of like internet culture and trends.
Because you're right, it's not just about the technology itself, it's about capturing attention
Exactly.
in a very noisy online world.
That's all about the memes.
So zooming out a bit,
Okay.
we've seen record-breaking trading volumes, this surge in stablecoin usage, and major players like Riot platforms and Amazon making some pretty bold moves.
Yeah, a lot happening.
So what does all this tell us about the state of the crypto market right now, in your opinion?
I think it suggests that the market is maturing and gaining wider acceptance, even with like the inevitable volatility and speculation. We're seeing signs that crypto is moving beyond its early adopter phase and entering this new era of growth and experimentation.
So maybe the Wild West days are starting to fade a bit,
Maybe a little bit.
but it's still not for the faint of heart.
Definitely not. There are still inherent risks, but amidst those risks, there's this palpable sense of excitement and optimism, I think, about the potential of blockchain technology. You see it in decentralized finance, in real-world applications like DeBan, and just in the growing number of companies and governments taking blockchain seriously.
Yeah, it does feel like we're witnessing this technological revolution unfold.
It does.
And the question is, what role will we play in it? But let's step back for a second.
Okay.
What's driving this surge in crypto adoption? What's fueling the fire?
That's a great question. I think it's a combination of factors.
Okay, I'm listening.
First, there's a growing distrust of traditional financial institutions.
Okay.
And people are looking for alternatives that offer more transparency and control.
A desire for more decentralized systems.
Exactly, where individuals have more power. Second, blockchain technology itself is becoming more sophisticated and user-friendly, opening up this wider range of applications beyond just cryptocurrency.
Like we were talking about with DePIN.
Right. It's not just about digital currencies anymore. It's about reimagining systems and structures in the physical world. And third, there's this generational shift happening with younger generations who are generally more tech-savvy and open to new ideas, embracing crypto as a legitimate asset class. They see it as a way to participate in a financial system that aligns with their values.
So it's not just about the technology, it's about a cultural shift.
Exactly, a new way of thinking about finance and value.
And of course, we can't ignore the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic,
You're right.
which really accelerated the adoption of digital currencies and online financial platforms. When lockdowns and social distancing became the norm, people were forced to embrace those digital solutions, and that comfort with digital transactions naturally extended to cryptocurrencies.
Makes sense.
It's like the pandemic pushed us further into a digital world, and crypto was already there waiting.
It was ready.
But while this adoption is exciting, I'm also curious about the potential downsides. What are some of the challenges that the crypto industry needs to overcome to truly reach its full potential?
That's an important question. Scalability is a major one. Many blockchain networks currently struggle to handle a high volume of transactions, which can result in slow processing times and high fees. If crypto is going to be used for everyday transactions, it needs to be able to keep up with the demand.
So if everyone suddenly starts buying their coffee with Bitcoin, the system might grind to a halt.
It's a simplification, but you get the idea. The good news is that there are tons of brilliant developers working on solutions like Layer 2 scaling and new consensus mechanisms to address these issues.
So scalability is one hurdle. What else?
Regulatory uncertainty is another big one. The crypto space is relatively new, and governments worldwide are still trying to figure out how to regulate it effectively. This lack of clear regulatory frameworks can create uncertainty for businesses and investors, hindering wider adoption.
It's like building a house without a blueprint.
Exactly. Everyone has a different idea of how it should look, and that creates confusion and hesitation. And then, of course, there's the issue of security. While blockchain technology itself is inherently secure, there are still vulnerabilities that bad actors can exploit. We've seen those high-profile hacks of exchanges and DeFi protocols which damage trust and discourage new users.
So security is paramount. especially in a system that promises transparency and trust.
It's essential.
Are there any other challenges that you're particularly concerned about?
I think education and awareness are crucial. Crypto can be incredibly complex for newcomers, and the jargon can be overwhelming. We need more accessible educational resources to help people understand the fundamentals of blockchain technology and how to navigate the crypto market safely and responsibly.
It's like learning a new language.
Exactly. If we want people to fluently engage with crypto, we need to give them the tools and the vocabulary. And that education needs to go beyond just the technical aspects. We need to have conversations about the ethical and societal implications of blockchain technology, especially as it becomes more intertwined with our lives.
It's not just about the technology itself, it's about how we use it and the values that we embed in these new systems. It's a lot to consider.
It is.
But it's exciting to be a part of this evolution.
It is exciting even with the challenges. The crypto space is constantly evolving, and we're still in the early stages of this technological revolution. The next few years will be crucial in determining the future of this transformative technology. But one thing is certain, the energy and the innovation in the crypto community are undeniable.
Absolutely. It's a community that's constantly pushing boundaries, challenging assumptions, and working together to build something new.
It's inspiring.
It is. So we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive, from market trends to the meme-driven phenomenon, from the challenges to the exciting opportunities. But as we wrap up this part of our conversation, I want to bring it back to a key theme that's emerged: the power of community.
The crypto space is unique in that it's driven by this passionate and engaged community of developers, investors, and enthusiasts from all corners of the globe. They're collaborating, debating, and constantly pushing the boundaries of what's possible with blockchain technology.
It's that collaborative spirit, that willingness to experiment and challenge the status quo that makes the crypto world so dynamic and unpredictable.
And ultimately, it's that community that will shape the future of crypto. Their passion, their creativity, and their commitment to building a more decentralized and equitable future are what will drive this technology forward.
That's a powerful reminder that even amidst all the volatility and uncertainty, there's a human element at the heart of crypto. This collective desire to create something better. We've got one more part to go in this deep dive, so don't go anywhere. When we come back, we'll delve into what this future might hold and explore some of the most exciting developments on the horizon. Stay tuned. Welcome back to our deep dive into the crypto world. Before the break, we were talking about the power of the crypto community and their role in shaping the future of this technology.
They're a force to be reckoned with, that's for sure.
But even with all that passion and innovation, there are still some big questions looming, right? Like, what will that future actually look like?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And honestly, I don't have a crystal ball.
Nobody does.
But I think we can get some clues by looking at the trends we've been talking about. Remember how we talked about the convergence of crypto and AI?
Yeah, that was fascinating.
That's one area where I expect to see some really exciting developments in the coming years.
Okay, so how do you see these two powerful technologies kind of intersecting?
Well, in so many ways. Imagine AI algorithms being used to optimize blockchain networks, making them faster, more efficient, and more secure. We could see AI-powered trading bots navigating the crypto markets with lightning speed, or AI-driven security systems that protect our digital assets from increasingly sophisticated threats.
So AI could be the key to unlocking some of those challenges that we talked about earlier, like scalability and security.
Exactly. But it goes beyond just solving those technical problems. AI could also be used to create entirely new decentralized applications, or dApps, that leverage the power of both technologies. Think about decentralized prediction markets that are powered by AI algorithms, or AI-driven social media platforms that actually reward users for their contributions.
Whoa, those are some pretty mind-blowing possibilities.
It's going to get wild.
But as with any new technology, there are potential risks as well, right?
Of course. We need to be really mindful of the ethical implications of combining these two powerful technologies. Like, how do we ensure that AI algorithms used in decentralized systems are fair, unbiased, and transparent? How do we prevent them from being manipulated or used for malicious purposes? These are questions that we absolutely need to grapple with as we move forward.
It's a good reminder that technological innovation should always go hand in hand with, thoughtful consideration of its impact on society.
Absolutely. We can't just blindly embrace new technology without thinking about the consequences.
So even with those challenges, it's hard not to get excited about the potential. So what else is on the horizon? What other trends should we be paying attention to?
I think the growth of the metaverse is going to have a huge impact on the crypto space. As we spend more time in these virtual worlds, we're going to need new ways to transact, own digital assets, and interact with each other. And guess what? Cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology are perfectly suited for this emerging digital landscape.
So we could be buying virtual real estate with Bitcoin or earning crypto rewards for completing quests in a game. It's like the lines between the physical and digital worlds are becoming increasingly blurred.
Exactly. And with that blurring comes a need for new governance structures, new ways of defining identity and ownership, and new approaches to security and privacy in these virtual spaces. It's a whole new frontier that's ripe for innovation and disruption.
It's a lot to wrap our heads around.
It is, but that's what makes it so fascinating, right? The space is constantly evolving, constantly pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Absolutely. But before we get too carried away with the future, I want to bring it back to the present.
Okay.
For our listeners who are just starting their crypto journey, what advice would you give them?
I'd say first and foremost, approach crypto with a healthy dose of curiosity and a little bit of skepticism. Don't just blindly follow the hype or invest in something you don't understand. Take the time to learn about the technology, the different cryptocurrencies out there, and the risks involved. There are so many great educational resources available online and in libraries.
So do your research and don't be afraid to ask questions.
Exactly. And remember, crypto is still a relatively volatile market, so don't invest more than you can afford to lose and be prepared for some ups and downs. But most importantly, have fun with it. Explore, experiment, and engage with the vibrant community that's shaping this exciting new world.
That's great advice, and it perfectly captures the spirit of this deep dive. We've covered so much ground, from market trends and meme coins to the convergence of crypto and AI and the rise of the metaverse. It's been a whirlwind of information, but I think the biggest takeaway for me is the power of community.
It all comes back to the people, right?
It does.
It's those passionate and dedicated individuals who are driving this revolution forward, and it's their collective energy that will ultimately determine the future of crypto.
And on that note, I want to thank all of our listeners for joining us on this deep dive. I hope you found it informative and inspiring. Remember, the future is being written right now, and we all have the opportunity to be a part of it.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So stay curious, stay informed, and most importantly, stay engaged. Until next time.